Hello there guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United have just drawn 0-0 with Manchester City at Old Trafford in the 183rd Manchester derby. Got to say, it was a poor game. You know, the best chance of the game was from Riyad Mahrez, and it was a very, very good save from David De Gea. Gabriel Jesus also had half of a chance for Manchester City. Raheem Sterling also looked dangerous for Manchester City. I thought Fernandinho was pretty good for Manchester City, and John Stones had a pretty good game. Obviously, we could have had a penalty in the second half because Marcus Rashford got fouled by Kyle Walker. But the decision got overturned by VAR. So it wasn't given because they actually said that Marcus Rashford was offside. Now, Wan-Bissaka, I don't think he had the best of games. I thought he was caught out by Gabriel Jesus. He was also caught out by Raheem Sterling. Wan-Bissaka did improve a little bit though in the second half, but he wasn't good enough in the final third of the pitch. Lindelof, he wasn't too bad, Victor Lindelof, actually. I think he threaded some good long balls through. Harry Maguire, I think he made a couple of mistakes. He did make two blocks from Riyad Mahrez, not Riyad Mahrez, it was from Raheem Sterling and Kevin De Bruyne. Luke Shaw, to be honest with you, I thought he had a pretty good game for us. He was very, very good from his crosses from the corners. I was surprised that Luke Shaw started. I actually thought Alex Telles would have started ahead of him. Fred, I also thought he had a pretty good game. Some of his passing was quite good. He got forward quite well. Don't forget, Fred did sustain a knock in the game, but he did manage to stay on the pitch. Paul Pogba, I thought he was okay, was Paul Pogba. I thought he had some pretty good moments in the game, but he was careless in possession a couple of times. McTominay, I don't think he was too good. Bruno Fernandes, to be honest with you, I thought he was all over the place on the pitch. Bruno Fernandes was trying. Marcus Rashford, I don't think he had that end product, Marcus Rashford. And I don't think he got a lot of service in the game today. And Mason Greenwood, I don't think he had the best of games either. We obviously bought one substitution on in the game, and that was Anthony Martial. Manchester City, they brought one substitution on, and that was Ferran Torres. But the game lacked intensity. No team had that cutting edge. There wasn't many chances in the game. It's probably the worst game I've seen for a long time. Both teams will be very disappointed, won't they? Manchester City, they've been in good form recently as well, haven't they? They beat Marseille, 3-0. They beat Fulham the other week 2-0. And they also beat Burnley the other week by 5 goals to 0. And City have got one of the best managers in the world in Pep Guardiola. You know, Pep Guardiola's enjoyed a good 4 years or so now at Manchester City. So far at City, he's won 2 Premier League titles, he's won the FA Cup, and he's won a few League Cups. He's also won the Charity Shield. You know, a few seasons ago, Manchester City, you know, finished on 100 points. They became the first team in the Premier League to get 100 points in a Premier League season. Earlier on this season, Pep Guardiola signed a 2-year contract with them. And under Manuel Pellegrini, they won the title, and under Roberto Mancini, they won the title. And when they won it under Roberto Mancini, that was their first title in 44 years. You know, don't forget, we beat Manchester City 3 times out the 4 times we played them last season. You know, we're beating them 2-1 at the Etihad in the league. We're beating them 2-0 at Old Trafford in the Premier League. And we beating them in the League Cup second leg by 1-0. But obviously that wasn't enough because we was 3-1 down from the first leg. But I'm not particularly happy with the point today. But a draw is better than losing, isn't it? You know, Solskjaer's give his perception on today's game, and he did say that we're showing signs that we are improving. The formation we went with today was the 4-1-2-1-2. I think Manchester City went with the 4-2-3-1 formation. I think if we'd have won today, we'd have gone into the top 4. Wouldn't we? Ed Woodward did say, though, that even if we'd have lost to City today, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would not have been sacked as Manchester United manager. Ed Woodward remains fully behind Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, obviously, our next game is Sheffield United. We should be winning that game because Sheffield United have been very inconsistent this season, sitting bottom of the league. After that, it is Leeds United. After Leeds United, it's Everton in the Carabao Cup. Then it's Leicester. So games are coming up thick and fast for Manchester United. You know, we are unbeaten now in our last 5 league games. Aren't we? Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not the long-term manager for Manchester United, like I've said several times. You know, he's not the right manager to lead the club to long-term success. Like I've said to you, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's decision-making concerns me. He's out of his depth at the football club, and he hasn't got that proven pedigree as a manager. Obviously, before he came to Manchester United, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but Molde had a big club, and before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff, and he enjoyed a very, very short tenure at Cardiff. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's been Manchester United manager now for almost 2 years. It's his 2-year anniversary some point this month. And he's under contract with the football club until 2022. And I can probably assure that he will not see out his contract at the football club. Ole's managed over 100 games as Manchester United manager in all competitions. And this is his 2nd full season at the football club. And I did say, didn't I, this was always going to be a big season for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I said if we can finish in the top 4 this season, and if we can win a trophy, that would represent a very, very good season for Man United. Then that would give us something to build on. I think at some point he will be sacked, just not at this present time. You know, there's obviously been talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in to replace him. Recent reports said that Pochettino would take the Man United job right now. Obviously, Julian Nagelsmann has been on our agenda. Reports from Germany recently said that, we could go in for Thomas Tuchel if Solskjaer sat in the next few weeks. Massimiliano Allegri, he's been on our agenda quite a few times. But not all of the blame stems from Ollie, reflecting on our inconsistency. Obviously there's some players that have got to take responsibility because there is some players at the club that have been underperforming. We've been very, very critical of the board for several years. Reflecting how poor our recruitment policy's been, and none of our managers that we've had have been backed since Alex Ferguson left. So Moyes wasn't backed enough, Van Gaal wasn't backed enough, Mourinho wasn't backed enough, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hasn't been backed enough. You know what I'm saying? But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Manchester United it was going to be a massive job. We know that he knows the culture of the club because he was a great player for the football club for 11 years. He flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance and that, but my perceptions on him as a manager is totally contrast to how he was as a player. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson left. We've sacked 3 managers since Ferguson left, and that was David Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. We have been playing catch-up in the last 8 years because obviously, we've had different managers with different philosophies. We've spent over £1 billion in the last 8 years, and we've brought around 36 players in since Ferguson left. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so we haven't won that now for a good 8 years or so. So there you go. I have taken positives from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tenure. Like I said, he has spent over £200 million since he came to the club, and he has made some good signings, and he's enjoyed 4 transfer windows at the club. He did well in his first full season last season. He got us qualification for the Champions League, also got us third, and he guided us to 3 semi-finals. We've also seen a lot of players depart the club since he got recommended in. We've enjoyed some good periods under him. We are unbeaten in our last 5 league games. We went on 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions last season. Was 14 unbeaten in the Premier League. And I like the way he has promoted the youth. So they are the positives you can take. But there's issues at the club that Solskjaer's got to solve. He's obviously got to solve the Paul Pogba issue. He's got to identify his best 11. He's also got to select the right formation. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's gone a lot with a 4-2-3-1 formation since he got appointed in as Man United manager. In a lot of the big games, he's gone with 3-5-2. In a few games, he's gone with 4-3-3. In a few games, he's gone with a 4-1-2-1-2 formation. You know what I mean? And like I've said to you, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is inheriting a squad that is worth £800 million. He's inheriting a lot of players here from the Jose Mourinho era. Still a few players here from the Van Gaal era. There's only 1 player here from the Moyes era. And there's only 2 players here from the Sir Alex Ferguson era. I think it would be very beneficial if Manchester United could get a director of football in, because that's one of the structural changes that we need at the football club, and we've been in the process of trying to get a director of football in now for at least the last 3 seasons or something like that. Our home form is a concern. We've only won 2 games at Old Trafford in all competitions this season. We're beating West Brom by 1-0, and we're beating RB Leipzig by 5-0. Away from home, though, we've been very, very good. We've won our last 9 away games in a row in the league, and we haven't lost away from home in the league since January. So away from home, what we're doing, we've got to replicate that at home. You know, we have been enduring our worst start at Old Trafford for around 50 years. You know. But there is good players at Manchester United. Like I've said before, you know, Marcus Rashford, he's a very, very good player. You know, he wasn't so good today against Manchester City. Didn't really have that end product, Marcus Rashford. But aspects of his game have really, really improved. You know, Rashford's been part of the club for several years. You know, he's been a United player since the age of 7. And he's been in our senior squad since 2016. So he must have been in our senior squad now for a good 4.5 years or something like that. I like Rashford out wide than centrally. He was playing, was he, centrally today? But I prefer him out wide because that's where he's more effective. I think Anthony Martial is a good player, but just hasn't been good this season, Anthony Martial. You know, just hasn't been clinical enough this season, has he? You know, he's just come back from a groin problem. He did have a chance against West Ham last week, didn't convert it, but he got taken off in the game against West Ham. You know, also he had 2 good chances in the game against PSG, didn't convert them. I think the good game he's had this season was the Istanbul Başakşehir game when we beat them by 4-1. But this season, Martial's failed to replicate what he did last season, because last season he scored 23 goals in 48 games. And he was good in his debut season under the Louis van Gaal era. You know, Martial's enjoyed a good 5 years or so at the club. When we have been playing him recently, we've been putting him out wide. But was it last season, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gave him that number 9 shirt. We got him in a deal worth £58 million from Monaco back in 2015. I think Mason Greenwood's been pretty good this season. Well, recently he's been good, should I say. He's obviously had, you know, personal issues. Obviously he had injuries and he was out with illness, but recently he has done good, Mason Greenwood. You know, he did well against RB Leipzig. He did well last week against West Ham, got his name on the score sheet. You know, Solskjaer's been defending Mason Greenwood a lot this season. And he did mention that he has enjoyed a fantastic year. At the start of this season, we're giving that number 11 shirt. He's under contract with Man United until 2023, is Mason Greenwood. You know, I think Bruno Fernandes is also a very, very good player. He's made a difference in the team. Now, disregarding Bruno Fernandes, we'd be in a worse position than we're in. You know, Bruno Fernandes has enjoyed almost a year now at Manchester United. You know, he won Player of the Month for November. You know, he's won Player of the Month now quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. We paid £47 million for him from Sporting Lisbon back in January. Now, it did say after the West Ham game, we was willing to offer him a new contract worth £200,000 a week. You know, doubling his current wages. But he's definitely the best signing we've made since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. I also think Donny van der Beek is a good player. You know, Donny van der Beek didn't play today against Man City. You know, some people say maybe Donny van der Beek should have started today. Donny van der Beek didn't start against RB Leipzig, but he did come on, and as soon as he came on, Solskjaer reverted to a back 4. He started last week against West Ham. That was his second start in the Premier League. He's done very, very well for Man United. You know, Donny van der Beek, we paid £40 million for him from Ajax. You know, I also think Fred's very, very good. He's a good player. You know, he's enjoyed some good games this season as Fred. You know, he weren't so bad today, like I mentioned earlier on against Man City. He didn't play any part in the game against RB Leipzig because he was suspended, because he got sent off in our 3-1 defeat to PSG because he did receive 2 yellow cards. But I like the way that Fred's broke up the plays, played some good passes, and he showed good attacking intent. We paid £47 million for him from Shakhtar Donetsk. And I thought he was an exceptional player at Shakhtar Donetsk. I think Alex Telles is good. I think he's enjoyed a good start to his Man United career. Obviously, wasn't good against RB Leipzig. That was his first bad game as a United player. But prior to that, has done well. Didn't play any part today against Manchester City. We got Telles in a deal worth 15.4 million. Luke Shaw, he's done quite well. He's a good player, Luke Shaw. He was good today against Man City, but he was poor against RB Leipzig. My only element of concern about Luke Shaw, he is far too injury prone. Luke Shaw's enjoyed a good 6 years or so now at the football club. We got him in a deal worth £30 million from Southampton back in 2014. He's just come back from a hamstring problem, hasn't he? Harry Maguire, he's good when he wants to be at Man United. In the games he's played well in this season, he's been very effective in the air. He's showed that ability to play out from the back. He's our current captain. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment because we got him in a deal worth £80 million. And Wan-Bissaka, he's been a good player this season because he has enjoyed good games for Man United as Wan-Bissaka. In the games he's played well and he has put good crosses into the box. He's got in decent positions and he has showed some good attacking intent. But there has been games where he has been quite poor and he has been too exposed. This is Wan-Bissaka's second season at Man United. We got him in a deal worth £50 million from Crystal Palace in the summer of 2019. You know what I mean? So yeah, these good players at Man United. I've got to say, Paul Pogba, he's actually impressed me recently. I don't think he was too bad today against Manchester City. He had some bad moments, but he also had some good moments as well. Paul Pogba made an impact when he came on against RB Leipzig. Got his name on the score sheet. He scored last week against West Ham. That game against West Ham was his first start for Man United in over a month in the Premier League. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has recently said that he's had conversations with Paul Pogba. And he did mention that he's focused on the football club. Now, his agent Mini Raiola told 2 Sport earlier on this week that Paul Pogba's time at Manchester United is over. He said that he's got no intentions of signing a new contract and he is unhappy, and he said that he has to leave. And he said he must change teams in January. Now, there's a good chance we will sell Paul Pogba in January. By the way, we have lowered his asking price. He said we will accept as low as £50 million for him. There is a good chance that he will go back to Juventus. We could get Cristiano Ronaldo as part of a swap deal. We could get, Paul Dybala as part of a swap deal. We could even get Mathys de Ligt as part of a swap deal. Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus, but the vast majority of his performances at Man United have been totally comparison. Now, he has been relentlessly linked with a move to Real Madrid because earlier on this season, he did say that one day his dream is to join Real Madrid. PSG, Barcelona and Inter Milan have been in for him before. Earlier on this season, we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. Pogba's under contract with the football club until 2022. But there has been no talks over getting him a long-term contract at the football club. As it stands at the moment, he is our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him. He's into his 5th season at the football club since he rejoined from Juventus. He did have an ankle injury, didn't he, not so long ago? Ollie did confirm, though, that ankle injury was totally contrast to the one that he had last season. But Paul Pogba is forcing his way out of the football club because he has been putting pressure on his agent, Mini Raiola, to find him a new club. You know what I mean? So there you go. And it is good that we are making plans for next year, because obviously, next year we are looking to make more signings. Obviously there has been a lot of players on our agenda. I think Man United needed centre-half, and we also need a right winger. Obviously we're going to get rid of more players next year because there is still deadwood in the squad. I think next year we'll be looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard, Marcus Rojo, Phil Jones, Sergio Romero, because Sergio Romero's obviously now our third choice goalkeeper. There's a good chance that Matic could leave next year as well, because he's too inconsistent. Daniel James could leave next year because he's actually lost his place in the team, and when he has been playing recently, he has been out of form. The other week there was rumours of Brandon Williams going out on loan because he is now our third choice left back. And there was obviously rumours of Dean Henderson going out on loan. Wasn't there? So yeah. So anyway guys, that's everything to update with today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.